Hey guys, Ollie here from Local Knowledge, and I want to show you a rig that we use that I get asked about a ton. Everybody wants to know how we rig to pull these high-speed trolling lures. As anybody knows, these have been deadly on the West Coast here for catching bluefin. Everything from 30 pounds to 300 pounds will eat these things, but you got to pull them kind of fast. And when I say fast, I mean anywhere from 9 to 13, 14 knots. Sometimes you'll set your speed at 9, but the swell will be pushing you downhill and you will hit that 13, 14, even 15 knots. And you don't want these things popping out of the water. You want them running true and working for you the whole time. This, of course, being our favorite new Sarda lure that we helped design with our friends at Rapala. This thing absolutely gets bit. It works great. It trolls fast. It's strong. It's tough. It comes with killer hooks with big old barbs right out of the box. Just a great all-around lure. So the rig is pretty simple, but it does require you to make some concessions. So we have 2 rods on the boat at any given time that are just dedicated to high-speed lures. That's all they're there for. So we're not cutting, tying, changing out. And the reason that we use a dedicated rod is we don't want to swivel on top of this eye. We want to pull this thing directly with a knot from the eye. And the reason for this, as well as the entire rig, is you want to have the cleanest low profile connection you can possibly have so this lure can dig. When you have a swivel here, you're using too heavy a leader, too long of a leader, that's going to make more drag. It's going to pull the lure out of the water to the surface, make it skip, jump over your other line, cause a cluster, you know what. Bad stuff happens. So in order to stay sano, we've kind of come up with this rig that we use. It's not magic at all, but I don't think everybody is doing it quite this way. And through days and days and days and days of using this, we have found that this is the absolute best way. If you've got a better program, let us know, leave it in the comments. So what we're using as far as gear goes is I've dedicated a couple of Pen 30 VISXs. We love the topless VISX for everything, and they're also more narrow. And then we just use one of our Pen rail rods. This here is like the medium weight, 80 to 150 pound. And this setup's just totally dedicated to nothing else but trolling. Now, on this, on my 30s, I run 100-pound Seaguar braid. You can use your braid of choice, but the Seaguar thread lock far and away is our favorite, right? So I've got my braid. The next thing I'm gonna need is a short shot. And when I say short, I mean just like 6 feet of leader material. For this, normal trolling, I might be trolling 200-pound, 300-pound leader. For this application, I'm going thin, and particularly like this new Seaguar Gold in 100-pound because it is so thin and it ties knots just so well. So I pull off about a wingspan, about 6 feet. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. Right, and along that same line of clean and compact rigging, instead of using a wind-on, because it is such a short shot, I don't want to build 6-foot wind-ons that get bit once or chafed, I'm out of business. This is a point where we use heavy gear relatively, and we're going to tie knots. Usually I'm wind-on crimp. I just like to take the knot factor out. But if you know anything about this particular knot, the FG knot, you know how strong it is. It's an awesome knot. It is a little tricky to learn how to tie. We have a video in our archive showing you how to tie this knot, but once you learn it, it's gonna be your go-to for connecting heavy leader over 100 pounds and up to braid. And this is a great knot to also learn because say you're fishing somewhere remote, you got your wind-on bit off, you don't have an extra, well, you can tie an FG to 300-pound leader, you're back in the game. Your kite rig, something goes wrong, you get a cluster, as long as you got a spool of line and an FG knot, man, you're back in business very quickly. So I'm just gonna make this connection with an FG knot. I'm not gonna bore you with how to tie that knot here. Bring these 2 lines together and we'll carry on from there. Okay guys, so I won't bore you with the details, but here we have my FG knot connecting my 100-pound thread lock to my 100-pound Seaguar Gold, right? Very straightforward knot. It does definitely take some practice. Let me tell you, I'm rusty and that was painful off camera. Then the only other thing you need, you got your 6 feet of leader, is take your lure. Here, I like to tie a uni knot. You could tie, a lot of guys here love the San Diego knot. I like the uni because it's compact. With the 100-pound, I'm only doing about 5 turns. Try not to catch the split in the split ring with your knot when you cinch it down. There, it's down, it's tight. Again, compact is everything, so I want to trim this very short. Normally I'm going to put this on something, pull the heck out of it just to kind of preload the leader, make sure it's nice and snug. But that's really it. That's your rig. It's 2 knots and a short section of leader. Now you've only got 6 feet of, let's call it thick line in the mix here. And this is just how it'll sit up in the rod rack, basically waiting for deployment. That's the whole rig. This works great for any lure that you're gonna pull fast. You can do it with the traditional bonita style lures, the Sarda, you know, there's a whole variety of them out there. Again, 6 feet a leader, FG knot to make your connection to your braid, and then a nice tight compact uni knot. You're good to go. This rig right here with this little lure will troll up to like 14, 15 knots before the lure wants to bounce out of the water or get weird. It really has served us well. The 100-pound is plenty. We don't get bit off at all. You know, it gives you just enough abrasion resistance. And again, use fluorocarbon, don't use braid. That's where the Seaguar really helps here. If you do get this whole thing inhaled, at least you've got something very, very, you know, chew-proof up ahead of it. And it's gonna give you that clean rig pulling through the water and not lifting your lure out. I hope this helps you out this season, helps you catch a few more fish. If you liked it, please give us a follow and also leave us a comment. Let us know what you guys want to see next. Your comments shape these videos going forward, and we really appreciate you watching. Thanks so much.